Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you to the September 14th, 2022 meeting of the City Plan Commission. Before we begin, I'll outline the procedure that we will follow for our public hearing. As each agenda item is called, the applicant or his or her representative and persons for the request will be allowed to speak. Then persons against the request will be allowed to speak. If there is opposition to the request, the applicant will be allowed to make a short rebuttal. All persons wishing to speak need to come to the microphone at the front of the room. Please state your name and address for the record. All statements should be relevant to the agenda item and be limited to 3 minutes. If there are several persons in favor of or opposed to a request, we encourage you to allow 1 or 2 persons to act as spokesperson for the group. If you like, a spokesperson for a group may request the group stand and be recognized. While public discourse is very important to the commission, we have to maintain order in the meeting so that all persons may be heard and the city business be conducted. If so directed by me, the Sergeant at Arms shall remove from this meeting any person while addressing the commission or while attending the commission meeting, making personal, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, who becomes boisterous or making unauthorized remarks from the audience, stomping of feet, whistles, yells, or similar demonstrations. The commission members have reviewed each of these items in a previous work session. The recommendation we make tonight to the City Council will be based on the work session and the information provided by staff, as well as any additional information presented tonight. After completing the hearing on each item, the commission will consider action on the item. The action taken tonight on these items will be in the form of a recommendation to City Council. The City Council will also conduct a hearing on these subdivision plats if they are recommended for approval, which will be held Tuesday, October 4th, 2022 for items that are recommended for approval at 6 p.m. Bosque Theater of the Waco Convention Center, 100 Washington Avenue. The record and recommendation of the Plan Commission and new testimony will be considered by the council at that time. The first item on our agenda, what will be the first of the plots will be taken up tonight?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the Plan Commission, this public hearing request on following subdivision plat, final plat of the Elm Lake Edition. City staff has reviewed this request and recommends approval.
Thank you. We'll open our public hearing. Is the applicant or his or her representative here to speak? Is anyone else here to speak in favor of this item? Is anyone here to speak in opposition to this item? Okay, we'll close our public hearing. We have a recommendation of approval from city staff. Unless there's any discussion, we will entertain a motion.
I move that we recommend approval based on staff findings.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Smith, second by Ms. Reynolds. Any final discussion? Please poll the commission.
Rouse?
Yes.
Briscoe?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Embry?
Yes.
Fajardo?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Jefferson?
Yes.
Reynolds?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
And what is our second plat we'll be taking up today?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, this public hearing on the following subdivision plat, preliminary plat of the Cotton Belt Crossing Edition. City staff has reviewed this request and recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you. We'll open our public hearing on the item. Is the applicant or his or her representative here to speak tonight? Today. Anyone else here to speak in favor on this item? Is anyone here to speak in opposition to this item? Okay. We'll close our public hearing. We have a recommendation of approval with conditions by city staff. Unless we have further discussion, we will entertain a motion.
I move that we recommend approval with conditions based on staff finding.
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. First motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Browse. Any final discussion? Please poll the commission.
Rouse?
Yes.
Briscoe?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Embry?
Yes.
Fajardo?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Jefferson?
Yes.
Reynolds?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
That concludes our agenda for today. We will adjourn the meeting.